Duel Links is dead. Your account is gone, and the servers are shutting down.
I kept putting this video off. It felt like every other week or so new changes happened to Master Duel, not so much to Duel Links, and I'd have more to say about this topic, but honestly not much has changed, including my stance. Maybe I'm coping a bit less about resurgence and interest for Duel Links content before substantial changes are made, if ever, but you know, it should be fairly obvious, but Duel Links itself is still alive. It still keeps getting new cards, and it probably isn't closing in the next year either. Though, on that note, I am very curious to see the quarterly reports from Konami to see how the Duel Links and Master Duel revenue is shaping up. Not only to see whether Duel Links is still huge even after dropping probably a significant amount of revenue, but also to see where Master Duel is at. Even though it had a really explosive start, it's also very exploitable and super free-to-play friendly as a result to people. If you're just getting into the game, you're probably getting everything you want because you only really want your one anime deck or whatever, and then you can build that unless you get unlucky and don't realize that the PvE gives you a buttload of gems. And then if you're really dedicated and don't care about convenience of having everything on one account, you might as well just make new accounts and make 1 to 3 decks on each of them. But as I was saying, Duel Links is definitely still alive. If you enjoy the game, it's still around to play. The format is significantly different from Master Duel, which means it's for a different audience, potentially, or an overlapping audience. Obviously, games tend to be shorter, you don't have to deal with hard floodgates mostly either. You have some fidgeting action with PvE farming as well, which is a nice time sink for a lot of people. After Master Duel, spending cash or farmed up gems feels a lot worse in comparison, because you can't just craft what you want, not from old cards, not from the newest cards, not from anything in general. Also, so far the only event for Master Duel was farmable for the most part in a couple hours without much RNG, which isn't really comparable to how farming is in Duel Links. Ranked also feels considerably worse after playing in a system where you don't need to streak 5 in a row. I tried cogging on 2 to 3 accounts in February, and I only managed 1 because I was really committed to either Vendrids with Manju, which doesn't do nearly as much for the deck as I had hoped, by the way, or Despots, and I just kept winning 3 and losing 1 or 2, which reset the streak each time, and then I had to start all over again, and there's not a lot of time, and it just gets frustrating. Overall, I think there's just a large portion of the more active/involved player base that seeks out content on Twitch and YouTube for Yu-Gi-Oh! And they are likely more invested plus more able to learn Master Duel due to knowing where to find resources, and as a result, it's easier for them to make the switch to Master Duel. Lots of people also feel burnt by Duel Links with the huge costs and underwhelming boxes and the not so interesting/fun meta for a long time. Keeping up with 2 games is rough. You have to be a degenerate to be able to do that. So I think for many, just dropping Duel Links, at least for now, is an easy decision. Master Duel also definitely has a lot of its own issues, but currently it still feels like the better product if you don't mind the full format or the TCG/OCG format. So Duel Links isn't really dead. It's there and will continue to be there, but I think both due to the decline in audience interest and content creator interest, for all intents and purposes, Duel Links has officially peaked and probably won't really return to being as active as it once was. The competitive scene is somewhat still around, but it's very much nowhere near even the January levels. So for someone who consumes the content on Twitch or YouTube or both, or I don't know, TikTok, Vimeo, it definitely feels like the game is way more dead than it actually is because there's just less content, so it feels like it's not around, but the game itself is there. It's just, if you experienced or engaged with the game in a way where content creation was crucial, then in that regard it might actually be kind of dying. Those are more or less all of my thoughts about Duel Links after Master Duel. I still farm the events, and I probably still try to cog a couple times a month, at least once on stream as well, but it's definitely not as enticing comparatively right now as Master Duel is. Master Duel is also just a content machine, no? You can make decks easily on new accounts until they might eventually do something about that, but even if they don't, there's just full decks. Unlike in Duel Links where you get a new box and then you get a new archetype or support for an archetype, but there's still a bunch of missing cards and you can't really play the deck properly, and then you also get sacked by, I don't know, whatever is meta at the time. The footage in the background should be showing some of the Infinitrack deck that I played for my first Duel level max. I was going to make a video for it, but then I got sick and then I felt that it wasn't relevant anymore afterwards, and so I'm probably not gonna do that. Also, there might be some Yoink Dark Magician footage and maybe something else. When I was recording or attempting to record one of the early drafts for this video about a month ago, I also opened up the game and recorded some Duel Links footage, and then I promptly got sacked when I was trying to play, I think, Bujins. Maybe I have some footage of that still, maybe I don't. If I do, I might put that in. But yeah, hopefully, I mean, I feel like I said this last time as well, but hopefully I make the next video sooner. I'm thinking probably doing some Master Duel guides for the decks that I've played, just to, I don't know, get in the swing of things. So next video, March 2023. I'll see you then, or not. Bye. Oh yeah, also, I guess, as an addendum, the Infinitrack deck was pretty fun. It's definitely not competitive at all, but it's cool how easily you can spam out a bunch of Xyzes. It's just a shame there's, you know, no Infinitrack Xyzes. There's also not enough room to fit everything, but it's kind of funny. And the Dark Magician deck, I mean, it's okay, but again, you just have to open good, I guess. Oh yeah, I also had this clip during the subathon from Decade, then still DLM, regarding, or not regarding, that I was going to use for my video. I kind of just don't want to waste it, so I'm gonna end with that, which is kind of a morbid clip to end with, but you know what, frick it. I downloaded the clip that I made, so I might as well use it.
That 7-day plan of Master Duel only is now gonna be forever, probably. I don't know how much Duel Links I'm gonna play. When Master Duel is in maintenance, it's time to play Duel Links. We got a 6-hour maintenance. It's coming soon.